When my husband turned 40, he suddenly became the man I originally married. Hi, I'm new here. I made this account because about a year ago something happened with my husband, and I still can't make sense of it. My husband has always been a good person and a wonderful father. He has a great career. He's ambitious and reliable. But after we had kids, his passion for me slowly faded. He used to be affectionate, flirty, couldn't keep his hands off me. We went on dates, took weekend trips. Everything was full of kisses, holding hands, and tons of sex. But once the kids came, all of that just disappeared. At some point, I felt like we were just roommates. I kept myself in shape for him and often initiated intimacy. He never refused, but he did it lazily, like he just wanted to get it over with and go to sleep. Eventually, I stopped initiating at all. It went on like this for years. I got used to it. I still loved him. I didn't want to cheat or get divorced. I simply told myself that this is what happens after kids, and I needed to accept it. Then about a year ago, he hired a babysitter and asked if I wanted to go away with him for a weekend. Just the two of us. I was shocked, but I agreed. And that whole weekend, he was affectionate, flirty, playful, the way he hadn't been in years. He felt like a completely different man, even in bed. My husband hadn't gone down on me in 10 years. And to be honest, he wasn't very good at it even back then. But on that trip, he did it on his own, without me asking. And it was amazing. And he didn't stop after that weekend. The change stayed. A couple of months later, I noticed he'd lost weight. Then he became more toned, more fit. He used to have a beer belly. Now he looked better than when we got married. I'm not going to lie. It was hard to keep my hands off him. He literally became the perfect husband overnight. I still don't understand what happened. He says he just wanted to be a better partner. And nothing major happened except him turning 40. Maybe that's it. I've read that men in midlife sometimes get in shape when they're planning to cheat, but that doesn't fit. He has never cheated and has never shown signs of it. We have a camera in the kids' room, so I always know where he is. It's either work or home. And we share an iPad, so I see all his messages. I'm completely confused. Edit? Thank you for all the comments. I'll answer the most common questions. I haven't seen any testosterone supplements at home, unless he's taking something at work and not telling me. I don't think that's the reason. As for how he suddenly got so good at oral, he told me he never liked doing it before, but now he actually enjoys it. I used to see how uncomfortable he was, and that affected my experience too. So that alone was a big change. But it still doesn't explain how he suddenly knows exactly what I want. When to speed up, when to keep the same rhythm when I'm close, and how to take me all the way. I honestly have no idea how he learned that. These skills didn't show up instantly, but they developed over time. As I already said, cheating is impossible. I always know where he is, and it's been like that for years. I can track him, and the kids can too. It's work and home. If he goes anywhere else, it's either the store or his parents' place. And I see that too. And also, don't people usually get in shape before an affair, not after it ends? I'm extremely attentive, and I know for a fact he isn't cheating. Update. I wanted to write an update because all your comments were incredibly helpful. I talked to my husband and asked if he was taking testosterone, like many of you suggested. He said no, and looked confused, like, why would you even ask that? We talked for a while, and I really pushed to understand what was going on in his head a year ago. What exactly triggered all these changes? Eventually, I managed to pull two things out of him. First, something happened at work. It was around 6 months before his transformation. I actually knew about it back then because he told me, but it didn't seem important to him, and he barely mentioned it afterwards. So I just forgot it even happened until he brought it up again. My husband is a VP of finance at a pretty large private company, and 2 employees in his department were having an affair. The woman was married and about my age, and her husband started calling the office, which turned the whole thing into a problem my husband had to deal with as their manager. Apparently, this dragged on for months. And when the woman started talking to coworkers about why she got involved, some of her reasons hit my husband hard. Her husband behaved almost exactly like my husband had been behaving, and my husband told himself, I'm not going to become that guy. And that's when he started changing things. The second thing he admitted was that he stopped watching adult content. I want to make it clear. I wasn't bothered by the fact that he watched porn. I watch it sometimes too, but when he handled things himself, it killed any desire he had for me. It turns out he started doing that when the kids were very little, and I was constantly exhausted. And he just kept doing it because it was easier. He quit because, in order to fix our marriage, he needed to bring his desire back to me. And he did. After that conversation, a lot of things finally made sense. I also understand why he didn't want to tell me earlier. He didn't want me to think he ever considered the idea that I might cheat. And the whole porn thing is self-explanatory. Comments. Commenter. I'm really glad you talked about it. And I'm glad you didn't take the cheating theory seriously. OP, it wasn't difficult. I knew he wasn't cheating. Even if I didn't know where he was all the time, he's just not the kind of man who would do that. Honestly, I think most cheaters are narcissists on some level, and he's the complete opposite. Question. Did your husband know about the affair beforehand or try to cover it up? OP, no, absolutely not. He only found out once the woman's husband contacted HR and then contacted him. These people reported directly to him, so of course he had to deal with the situation so the department could keep functioning normally. Well, that's all for now. Thank you for listening to the story all the way to the end. Share your thoughts in the comments and check out our previous videos as well. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if, for whatever reason, you still haven't. Good luck.